So why are Utah utility rates increasing so much? That probably could be answered best by looking at this slide right here. What this slide is showing you, it shows you how much power Utah, the blue line says, this is how much power historically Utah has consumed. The red line says, or the orange line says, this is how much power Utah has historically produced. What you're seeing is Utah used to be a massive exporter of power. We had enough, we could help California or surrounding states. But once the government started attacking our coal-fired plants and just basically had this war on energy, the amount of power that Utah was producing has been dropping and dropping and dropping to the point that Utah no longer is a net exporter of power, but we are now a net importer of power. So you take the combination of turning off the coal-fired plants, and then you bring on all, like, look at all the construction, all these houses we've been putting up everywhere, just houses, houses, houses. We're short about 70,000 homes in the state of Utah. And at the same time, we're buying electric vehicle, which are electrifying the grid. When you think of electric vehicle, think of every time you plug in your electric car, it's the equivalent of 5 homes coming online at once. That's a tremendous draw on power. So increasing demand because we're using more, the supply has been getting reduced. So you take those two pieces and that combination, and then you look at how many coal-fired plants have been getting shut down. Since 2011, we've been shutting down plant after plant after plant after plant. And so if you were right here on SCSD, for example, between 2022 and 2023, what was actually happened in September of 2022, our coal-fired plant in New Mexico was shut down. The result is SCSD no longer had enough power to meet our demand. So for example, we use 10 gigawatts of power, or we have 10 gigawatts of power production or capacity. This is how much they could do, but we use 20 gigawatts. We now buy 50% of all our power on the open market. And so when we lost that coal-fired plant, the very first of 2023, so I think it happened in March of 2023, you saw a 96% increase in the cost of your power bill. And it is directly tied to the continuing shutdown of these coal-fired plants. And so if you want to see what the path forward is by 2030, another 20 million people inside the state, or inside the United States, are going to lose their power supply. For example, Utah has 3 million people here, and so you take 3 million in Utah and then you compare it to the 20 million people that'll lose their power supply, and you can say, that's a problem. And so the consequence is it's actually driving the cost of power up. There's another piece that's coming into play here is basically has to do with natural gas. Historically, Russia has been a major net exporter of natural gas and oil. But when the world said we're no longer going to be buying that, what it did is it started creating a shortage in the natural gas market, which then causes the cost of natural gas to go up. Like, take this for example. Here is my natural gas bill. I was on equal pay, and in February 21st, 2023, my equal pay was $148. And the way equal pay does is every 12 months, they do a look back, they true up your account because something's changed and they want you to have a more balanced equal pay account. So I was at $148 in February of 2023. The very next month, they took me from $148 to $210 a month. Then I stayed on $210 a month for 6 months, and then they changed it to $255 a month. So I didn't increase my usage. What it was is the cost of natural gas has gone up. And if you take a bill like mine where on equal pay, it's very easy to see the shift versus if you have yours is not on equal pay and yours just kind of bounces around. It can kind of get lost in the noise, other than when you write the bill, you write the check, you're like, oh, this is horrible. Why am I paying so much? When I see mine, it's very easy to see the trend of this natural gas. So like Rocky Mountain Power, for example, is doing a 30% rate increase on all of its customers. One of the big culprits it points at is the cost of natural gas has gone up so much that our input costs have gone up. Therefore, it's causing the cost of energy to be pushed up. Like one of the hedges against this, there's probably a couple hedges out there. I've seen people take and install windmills. I'm not really a big fan of trying to introduce windmills to start creating like your electricity. Basically what it is it's a mechanical device. It's got a lot of moving parts. When you buy a windmill, it only comes with somewhere between a 1 to 3 year warranty. And what it really is they design those systems so that you put them up and you can take them down because all the brushings and all the stuff on the inside actually starts failing. And so you're going to have a constant set of maintenance to take and keep this thing maintained. Probably my favorite strategy is you can introduce solar into the equation. Solar has no moving parts. It comes with a 25-year warranty on it. Therefore, you can sidestep, like all the maintenance, all the stuff, kind of like the downside of all this maintenance and stuff, you can actually sidestep it by introducing that. What solar does, or something like this, is really a hedge against these rate increases. The truth is we continue to bring more houses online, we create a bigger shortage of power. The net effect is it's going to drive the cost up, and then folks that are probably not as well-to-do, kind of probably I'd say more towards the lower income, they're going to be the ones that kind of get choked out because they're not going to be able to afford power in their house. So if you guys need help on this, just give me a shout. We can take and run numbers for you and see if solar would actually benefit you. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.